Dan is in the house. We're live from the basement studio in the heart of Bye Bye City Leyte. Not really. We're one truck ride away. About 8 minutes. 8 minutes to the Dunkin' Donuts as the crow flies. Let's see who's arrived here. We have Anime Reyes, Selexia Vlogs, Ben Berry, Tripney Jarek, Letty Me is here. Trending and Buddha supports. Michelle, Zenzel, Janga, and others. I think Mike married to a beautiful woman checking in. Anime and Larice, thanks so much for sharing out. Brian is here. What's up, Brian? Glad you're here today. Today's drawing day. Yay! Drawing day means somebody's going to win 500 pesos in their Gcash account or sent to them via PayPal. All depends on you. Look at this. We figured out how to do it. Your number is attached to your name inside this see-through plastic container. They've all been written here on this little sticky note. I love sticky note. The idea came from the guy at the stationery store saying, hey, do it this way, do it this way. So far, we have 112 on the list. I'm only adding 5 today. I'm only adding 5 people. I'm adding 113, 114, 115, 116, and 117. So the way we're going to do this is if you're not already on the posted list, Brian, I know you're there because you sent me a message. What the hell is this for, Dan? And now you know. Now you know. But if you're not already on the list, you're going to have to come into the comment section, say, add me, Dan, add me, add me. And then as I add you, I'm going to put the number to your name on the list I have here in front of me and also enter it into this plastic container. Let me show you how this is going to work for today. Oh, let me shut off my music, my theme music. All right, so what we got here is we got this see-through plastic container. I like see-through things. I can't lie about that. I love the see-through. And then we're just going to draw. See, I've crunched them up. Let me just draw one. This one is not a winner, right? I'm not even going to open it up. But I folded this over. I tri-folded or quad-folded it. And so you just fold this tab back and then it reveals the number. These are all shaped the same size. The guy at the stationery store promised me that this idea will work. Trip and Jarek. Where are you from, Trip and Jarek? You'll be number 13. Trip and Jarek. Trip and Jarek. Or is that Jerk? Will be number 113. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put this inside. Let me fold it up. You'll see you're going to be there. See? 113. And what I do is I fold it up. I fold it up. And like so. Well, you can't see me folding it. I'll show you in a moment. The camera thing, frustrating me because I couldn't get my broadcast quality webcam to work. So we're on the laptop. Larice is here. Larry Lee is here. Rider Adventure. Anyway, I just folded up. Crispy like. This is 113. This is you tripping. And in it goes into this pot. Fish, see-through. Because I do like see-through things. So I mix them all up. Now, of course, 2 can stick together and stuff like that. I'm going to take care of that. We're just gonna, just end up with 1 today. But Mam Mini, I think we're gonna call Mam Mini in here. We're gonna have her pick. We had a cool Asian specialty store in El Camino, but what druggies? What? But dang, druggies kept stealing, so they left. but they had well over 100 pictures of thieves on the wall of shame. That's cool, but I think it's illegal. I think you can only post on the wall of shame if they've actually been convicted of a crime, but not necessarily accused of a crime. So that's probably why they left. Somebody probably decided to sue them. Hmm. All right, so now I got 114, 115, 116, and 117 slots to fill up. William Gilbert is here. So who am I missing? Did I miss somebody already in the chat? You better chime in again. I apologize. This is the way it's got to go. And then later on, you could always. Well, I'll tell you what. A couple of you have sent me messenger or sent me messages in the comment section of the videos and things like that, and I haven't gone through them yet. So I don't know if you're going to end up being in the drawing or not. Probably not, because I haven't put you in there unless you're here already, in which case I can add you as number 114. So who's up next for number 114? I am canvassing the comment section to see who else should be in here. Let's see. Larissa, use your link. Very good, very good. I'm going through the list to see who's been naughty or nice. And all you have to do is say, can I be on the list? And we're all good. We're all good. Oh, you probably noticed I've got my soundboard working a little bit. Let me see. What's this one? What's this one?
Victory!
Oh, does it get hot in the Philippines? Well, you get acclimated to it over a period of time. It's not as hot as it is in Sacramento, that's for sure. But it's humid here. It's the humidity that gets you. And so we haven't had a need to be running the air conditioning lately, Brian, because it's been kind of cool. It's been unusually cool for this time of year. We have 21 million people. They're starting to show up because I'm going to be giving away money. Lou's here. Zamy Zam is here. Zamy Zam, are you on the list? Are you on the list that I posted in my community section? Trending and Buddha supports is here. Beth Beltran, I know Beth is probably on the list. Not that list, Beth. You're on the good people list. Let me get this done. I got four more that I got to do, and then we want to get on with today's topic. I don't want to spend a great deal more time trying to figure out if you're here and on the list. You have to go to my community section and find out. So today we're talking about poverty in the Philippines. But before we do that, I want to share an interesting story that I ran into that you may or may not know about. There's a better than 50% chance that you know. All right, so Mike is saying if you draw my name, please give it to a student on the street, and that's perfect. I'll do that. That's so me, Mike, and that's so you. Apparently, I do that on occasion. So what'll happen is we'll run into a student who's on the street or they're getting ready to get a Jeep somewhere, and then we'll load them up with some humanitarian funds. It's nice to give a student, someone who's going to school, a leg up, when because I know they have an allowance, so much money for snacks, so much money for the Jeep, and now if Mike should win, then they'll have a little bit more from Mike. Are you afraid of typhoon season? No, but I should be, right? Because we're in the path of the typhoon. Oklahoma City has nothing on us. But it's been rather calm. We've only had a couple of typhoons this season that I know about, and they bypassed us here in Leyte. Usually, Leyte gets all the rain. And I would say that everybody's been getting the rain this season, Brian. I would say everybody has been getting lots of rain, but not as much as we were used to because it's supposed to be rainy season already here in the Philippines. And it's been very, very mild temperatures here where we're at in Bye Bye City Leyte. In Cebu, nobody cares. Nobody cares in Cebu. because they're in the shadow, they're in the typhoon shadow. So although they've been hit by serious typhoons, everybody knows about the last one that wiped a lot of people out. Historically, they haven't been impacted as much as Leyte, and so we're hanging right out there. They form right off the southern eastern coast of the Philippines, or sometimes they form on the west coast and they come across the bow. They just come right across the bow. They hit almost every time. They'll hit Baba City Leyte, but I think that because they form off the coast, right? They don't have enough oomph, except for we're dead in a few others. We've had a few other serious ones that caused catastrophic death, wiped out entire villages. And so those are 100-year events, I would say. Oh, thanks, Naomi, for complimenting me on the subject I'm going to approach, because I've been getting a few emails, talking about, oh, Des is here, Naomi's here, abject poverty in the Philippines. And it's really strange, but what poverty might mean to you is not what poverty means to me. So, and plus, the World Health Organization and others, the people that really run this planet and politics around the world, they have their own definition of what poverty is. And so you have to be careful when you're trying to define poverty, because I've discovered quite a few things. Jason is here. Jason, are you on my list? Are you on the good list or the bad list? No, Jason's a really nice guy. Jason would never be on the bad list. Are you on the list for the drawing? I have 4 more slots open. Once they're filled up, that's all we're adding for today, for today's drawing. So somebody here is going to walk away with 500 pesos in their Gcash account. See, I'm shaking it up. Look at this. Man, Minnie actually is going to draw, I think. I think she said she wanted to do the drawing for us today. And so we're happy to have her do that. If you pick my name, donate to Lou. She needs donuts. That's Clarice Resurrection. She's in desperate need of donuts. You mean Dunkin' Donuts, though, right, Larice? Not those crappy Krispy Kreme donuts, right? Yeah, starving students. Mostly they are, but they keep it a secret. They struggle to survive, but a lot of people, oftentimes you don't know it because they keep that to themselves. Yeah, the Jeeps are a work of art, but they're doing away with them. All these new mid-sized buses are starting to show up in town and in Manila. And LV Rose is here. LV, LV, LV. What's up, LV? I use Jason's account. Des here. I'm also live. Okay, I gotcha. All right. Uh, let me go down here. I know I'm behind. Brian says that's good. I'm glad it's not bad. No, no, no. Besides, our house is made of. Oh wait, I shouldn't say it. Those would be famous last words, right? Yeah, it'd be hard to knock our house down, but once I say that, then you know what's going to happen. A typhoon is going to come through and wipe the house off the face of the earth. Yeah, there are places to hide in here, though. In the event that we have a serious typhoon, there are safe places that we can go that we've deliberately constructed for the event. I can't go into too much detail about that because we're also using those same spaces in the event that the zombie apocalypse starts to happen. Then we'll know we'll have a place to go. So, I mean, if it's a zombie apocalypse or if it's typhoon, we got it covered here. Get it? We got it covered. But I can't reveal. The plan. Yeah, it does involve going into the jungle. Uh, yes, and sharing space with monitor lizards, if that gives you an idea of what's going on. Want to thank everybody, all 22 million people, for being here. I really appreciate you being here. I'm looking around. I don't see if you guys see somebody who wants to be on the list that I haven't identified yet, you guys can all enter their name at the same time to make sure that Dan doesn't miss it. Is Chrissy Mama on there? I would think so. Chrissy Mama, are you on the draw in the drawing? Clean water, hundreds of dollars a month, free health care for all, and a bunch of other programs for the homeless people. Yeah, well, and some would argue that that's the way it should be, that all that stuff is a human right. Uh, is poverty a choice? Who said this? Is poverty is a choice? I'm not sure. If you don't live in the land of opportunity, well, two things are going on here. One is how you define it. How you define it is going to be key. Let's see. I met many OFWs in Hong Kong who are starving and have poor health issues because of the pressure put on them by family members. Yes, the obligation to help your family in the Philippines is tremendous. That is a primary responsibility that seems to fall to the oldest in the house, male or female, but most oftentimes the male disappears and the female is stuck with having to figure out how to put it all together. Minnie climbs trees for food. Yeah, actually, she climbed the coconut tree the other day. I probably should have. I probably should have videotaped that. Hey, Princess Sarah, are you on my list? My drawing list? You shared it out. Are you on my drawing? Are you on my drawing list that I posted in the community section of YouTube on my channel? Because if not, then I can add you as number 114. So far, I don't see anybody that says, add me, Dan, add me, Dan. 2,400,000 people in the house. Dan got a stash of 40s in the jungle. Yeah, actually, yeah, yeah, that's right. It's called San Miguel Painted Label. Last night I might have overdone it. No, last night was Imperador. That's what I was having last night. 2 glasses a night, about that much of poured over ice, whether I need it or not. Okay, Princess Sarah, you're going to be number 114. Remember your number? That's your number forever. Princess Sarah. All right, Princess Sarah is number 114. See, I have it right here. Well, it's upside down, but there you go, 114. That's you. So you got to write it down for Dan's channel because you never know when he's going to have a drawing, and you never know how much it's going to be for because I won't share that in advance either. You just have to show up and find out. See how I can be? See how sneaky I can be? 27 million people in the house. So here you are, Sarah. You're crunched up now in this little teeny tiny piece of drawing paper. Sticky notes, I call them. All right, so you're in there at 114. Now I got 3 more slots left for today. And I think this is the way we're going to do it from now on. You show up, you ask for a slot, and then we'll keep going. So next up is number 115. Irene and Irish is here. Thanks. You're such a wonderful supporter, as you all are. Cha Ram is here. Cha Ram, thanks for being here. LV, as I go down the list. Haha, awesome. I remember always talking about how she climbs the coconut trees. Glad she can do it again. Are you kidding me? That woman does all kinds of crazy things. It makes me nervous. Thumbs up from Cha Ram. Thank you. I really appreciate it. The male gets married and becomes part of the need. Yeah, actually, the male gets married and leaves the household. Richie's here, or Richie. La Chica. Are you on my list for the drawing? Did you go into my community section and check to see if you were anywhere on the list? I assign numbers to people who have showed up here in the past. And then if we select your ticket today, you will be the winner of 500 pesos today. This is going to be our first drawing under this new random scheme that I have. And so if you already have a number, how you find out is you go into my community section. We posted the Excel spreadsheet that that Pacquiao Mertz put together for me. She's so nice. She put that together for me, and that's ready to go. Mm. Oh, you could climb a 5 foot coconut tree. If we had one, we would let you climb it, Larry. But they don't have one. Poverty is one of the biggest problems here in our country. One factor is the corruption of those who have power. Yeah, share the wealth. We might talk a little bit about that. Um, uh, I'm not such a big fan of corruption, of course, but I'm corrupt, so I view myself as being morally corrupt on occasion. So I mean, I don't know if that's the same thing that you're talking about. Princess is here, and she's in the contest now. Uh, let's see if I can see anybody else that's on here. We got three more slots to fill. 115, 116, and 117. Add me, sir. Okay. Zamy Zam. Zamy Zam. Zamy Zam is 115. Zamy Zam. You're in. You're in the money. Yeah, you're in the money. Yay! All right, my sound card is working. I don't know how that happened. I don't know how I was able to get that to work, and the rest of this crap is not working. All right, so here you are in here. You're here. You're a number now. You're 115, Zamy Zam, and you have to remember your number always, always. And also you have to be present to win. So that means you have to listen to my diatribe until whenever I decide to pull the winner. Now usually my live streams go on for 2 hours, but I'm gonna try to cut back a little bit because I realize how overwhelming is it. And plus I have a lot of respect for your time. Your time is valuable. Your time is in fact as valuable or more valuable than mine. So I enjoy being here. I enjoy being here, talking to you folks. And some of you have said you enjoy listening to me, but you don't want to listen to me all day long. 2 hours every day. I mean, geez, 2 hours every day. Oh, right. Oh, that's not good. Oh. So now, let's see. Not yet, Sir Dan. Not yet, Sir Dan. Rochi. Yeah, are you on the list? Hello, host John Ray, STL. And Randall, Zook is here. Dan, my old friend, good to see you. Hope your world's still pumping out the content. You know what? Hey, when all else fails, you gotta punt. You gotta punt, and so you load them up with useless stuff. Hey, the stuff that I put out on my YouTube channel, it makes me smile. Isn't that the most important thing? Okay, so John Ray, what do you say? Are you on holiday? You might be after you win this 500 pesos. John Ray, you are number 16. Okay, we only have one more slot to go and then we're underway. Here's 116. This is your number forever. Now, sometime I may post an update on the community board, but you know, you should remember your number. Why should I have to keep track of everything? I'm a busy, busy man. I'm a busy, busy bee. Busy, busy bee. By the way, I don't know if you know it, but I just want to give a shout out to the beekeeping in paradise, Brent, who he produced 30 pounds of honey for sale and distribution here in Bye Bye City. And it's a wonderful thing. And I have some. I don't have some in front of me. Man, Minnie absconded with it. But it is the tastiest honey that I have ever had. And if you go into Brent's channel, Beekeeping in Paradise, you're going to discover that he had trial and error, but he never gave up. He never gave up. And you know why? Because he has faith. He has faith. He never gave up. And so, boom, 34 million people in the house. We got honey. We got honey. And speaking of honeys, He is in Indiana visiting his honey right now. He's back in Indiana. He texted me yesterday and said, Dan, I'm here in Indiana and we are going to have honey, honey galore. If you ever heard that term before, honey galore in when I get back. Okay, so you're saying that you're not in there yet, so you want to be part of the deal. So is it Richie? I can't see because I have poor eyesight. Number 117. And that's it for today. So if you missed out on today, 5 more entries the next live stream. We'll keep doing it. I'm not saying we're doing a drawing on the next live stream. I haven't decided. I haven't decided how we're going to do this. But Richie or Richie, and then how you spell it is interesting. Chica. Okay, so there's some special thing there. All right, so now here 117. This is your number forever, right? So I am folding you up and putting you in today's drawing. Okay, so let's get started with the show. I entered 5. We have 113, Trip In, and we got 114, Princess Sarah, and we got 115, Zam, number 116, John Ray, and then you. And then here, look at, see? Oh, you can see my donut. Speaking around things, you can see my donut. So these 117 are in here. They're in here. I've checked the list twice. I've unfolded each one to make sure they're correct. Now, I could pull one out, right? And I could end up with, man, Minnie actually is going to draw it. She could end up with 2. I'll have to explain this to her. And they could hang up together. And she has to let it go until she's just got one tab. And then I will open it up and we'll see who the winner is. And then if I don't already have your GCast, then you're going to have to send it to me. All right, let's talk about something equally fun as the drawing. Yes, I'm having a good time so far. Let's go to my email because how I do this is if there's something I want to share, then I do it through the email. Okay, Irene and Irish, thank you so much for coming. And I got your message on Messenger. Let me see. Let me read it. Not out loud. Okay, I got you. Beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here. All right. So now I have to go to my email because when I want to talk about something catches my attention, then I send it to my email address, and then then I'll remember what I want to talk about. So we're going to talk about something pretty fun. I got curious about the origin of the piggy bank. And so I went looking for the origin of the piggy bank. That's the thing that we use for saving money. When I was growing up as a kid, it was an honor for somebody to give you a piggy bank for your birthday because that means they really loved and cared about you. And so they wanted you to save money. And so usually they give you a piggy bank that is either plastic or in metal or glass. Mine was in glass. And then you put your change or your coins or bills in that piggy bank to save for a rainy day. It's like a rainy day fund. A lot of people, they saved it for their education. And so you would take it, put it in there. And it meant that that person that gave you that gifted you that, really cared and loved you. And usually there was already money inside there because it's bad luck. I don't know if you believe in this or not, Mike, but it's bad luck for you to get a piggy bank, to gift one without their money being in it. And the same if you're going to give a purse. If you give a purse, then you have to go ahead and put money in it because it would be bad. It would have the opposite karmic effect if you didn't put money in it before you gifted the purse. I don't know if any of you know that. Here in the Philippines, I've discovered that custom does still it exists in some communities. People understand it and it works the same way, right? We ran into, by the way, speaking of Manny Pacquiao, Brian, he has relatives that live here. he has I think a niece, a nephew, cousins. He has a whole bunch of relatives that live here in Bye Bye City. And so I was asking, so I ran into one of them on the what's it called? Not the pedicab, the trike the other day. We were headed back to the house, and I ran into one of them, and they were telling me some interesting things about Manny. And so they actually said that he has been in Leyte, right here in Bye Bye City, working out on occasion, and he rarely tells his relatives that he's there working out. I wouldn't know if that's just gossip or truth or whatever, but Manny Pacquiao definitely has relatives here in Bye Bye City. This article that I found about the piggy bank, the origins of the piggy bank, is the title. And of course, it's going to be presented by a bank, Paragon Bank or Paragon Savings and Loan, right? And so I want to share this with you. The invention of the piggy bank originates over 600 years ago in the 15th century when people would use pots to store money that they had. In that time, metal was an expensive commodity and not frequently used for household equipment. Household items such as plates and pots were made from affordable clay called pygg, which before they changed how you pronounce the Y, as an I, like for pig, it was pug, like a pug dog. So therefore, whenever people had a few extra coins, they would simply drop it into their clay jars or whatever they had set up, which they referred to as a pug bank or pot. During the time of the Saxons, vowels had different sounds to them. Therefore, pug, I mean pig, would be pronounced pug. Are you hanging in there with me? Pygg would be pronounced pug. However, soon after, pronunciation of the Y changed from a U to an I, making clay pig the animal pig sound. And so to have fun with it, they all thought this was hilarious. They decided that they would make a pug a pig. This all makes sense to me. So, in some European countries, such as Germany and the Netherlands, the pig represents good fortune, as it does for most of us in the West. And here in the Philippines, I figured that if you didn't love the pig, you wouldn't be eating it, right? And the pig wouldn't be present for celebrations like weddings, birthdays, and those types of things, and fiestas, big events. So it during the new year, it's also a tradition to exchange lucky pigs. A lucky pig made of marzipan, chocolate, wood, or porcelain. You would exchange those to your friends or your family, who you care about. Piggy banks are also an important part of Chinese culture. In the Chinese zodiac, the pig is a symbol of wealth and prosperity, and giving a piggy bank is believed to bring good luck and fortune to the recipient. I know there are things that you guys do here when you bless a house, and a lot of traditions are a little bit different, but uh, you know what they are. But one of them should be, bringing a pig to the party. Bringing a pig to the party can't be a bad thing. The importance of piggy banks, looking beyond its fascinating origins and cultural significance, the practical purpose of a piggy bank has stood the test of time. That is encouraging people to save money. But I haven't seen anybody give a piggy bank as a gift in a very, very long time. So if you're looking for ways to save, and I'm always talking about this in this on my live streams, you need to keep your piggy bank topped up and your savings goals on track. But here's the thing: this article probably is written because they want you to use their bank as a piggy bank. And I'd like to discourage you from doing that. There's been a lot of talk on YouTube and other places about, oh, you're missing out on the interest that you could earn by saving your money here in the bond funds, in here, and this, that, and the other thing. And then mostly that doesn't apply to regular folks like us. because we're more concerned about putting food on the table than we are saving money. But you know that certain expenses are coming. And so those expenses, for example, maybe you have a goal of buying a refrigerator. As a matter of fact, I could share this story today. So we have a small, it would be considered a pretty fancy refrigerator, I guess, for the Philippines, but it's really a single door apartment size refrigerator that you would find in the United States, in the West, in many, many different countries. But a lot of people here in the Philippines don't own a refrigerator. They don't have a way of keeping food cold, and that's the reason why they go shopping every day, because the food is fresh. It's mostly fresh. And so so if they want to go to get meat or something like that, they go to the wet market, and they'll actually, a lot of times you'll get there and you'll actually see the animal being prepared for sale, and that's the kind of food that you want to eat anyway, not processed the way they do in the West. And so now, so what this concept of investing in all this stuff and giving your money to the bigs, I don't believe in. I don't believe in it, because the value of the money, it's more valuable, especially to people here in the Philippines, if you spend it as you get it. And so it's not, but the piggy bank, where it comes into play, is you already know that tuition is coming for your kids. You already know that you're going to have to buy clothes, school supplies, and those types of things. And so you plan for that by putting your change, your coins, your peso coins, if you're able to, inside that piggy bank, because you're saving to make sure that you're not so stressed when it comes around to buying things for your kids that they'll need for school and things like that. That's just one example. Or um, you need to prepare for emergencies that will happen, that you're ill prepared for. But to this whole idea of giving your money to the bigs in terms of interest payments and and savings accounts and all this stuff in banks, this frustrates me to no end, because it the money is more valuable if you spend it the day that you receive it, right? And the rest of it can just go into the piggy bank. The money is more valuable whether you believe this or not. Inflation is happening at such an exponential rate, meaning it keeps multiplying sometimes by even a factor of 10, that putting your money in the bank so you can gain 5% interest doesn't make sense. What makes sense is you spend it. You spend it today on food that you'll be eating today and tomorrow. And then you're going to get the highest return on investment. So I'm saying this to you as a warning. Things are going to get a little bit testy. Here in the Philippines and other parts of the world, it's already starting to happen. You're seeing the cracks in the armor. The suit of armor is starting to crack. And that's going to affect you eventually here in the Philippines. Maybe not to the same degree that it will affect others around the world, but you have to prepare for it. And one of the things to prepare for it is not by saving money in a bank. Now, I'm not saying you don't need banks for the facilitating of transactions. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying don't give your money to them for the purpose of investing, thinking that you're going to become wealthy, because all the big companies and the banks, they're just going to invest your money. They're just going to invest your money in immoral things, oftentimes. Things that you actually will never see the return on investment. And so one of the big problems in the states, of course, is everybody is getting rich on real estate. Well, when everybody figures out that you can get rich in real estate, then you no longer will be able to get rich in real estate. Are you following me? In other words, they'll take the monetization part out of it, and they do it several different ways, and it's already starting to happen around the world. It's already starting to happen. Chris Tyne, is that your main? Chris, is that your main account or is that your Ninja account? I'm curious about that, because I did say I was only going to do 5 slots this time around, and they're already taken. But for you, I'll make the exception. But that's all for today. Your number is 118. Your number is 118. It's going into the basket right now. 118. Fold it up right here inside the drawing pool. I'm shaking it up just to make sure too that it's all fair, right? Because if you put the last one in and then the last one wins, people go and they'll give you the stink eye, right? It could happen. It could happen, but all right. Hopefully, I mix that up. All right, so that's what's going on. So let's talk about poverty. Is it a choice to be impoverished, and are you poor? That's the other thing. The most important thing is understanding what poverty is, and it's very confusing because if you're using Western standard, if you're using the West, and the economy as the West as the unit of measure, and a lot of places do. Well, then that would be ridiculous, right? Because they are not only rich, but they're super rich. I mean, places like the UK, the United States, New Zealand, Australia, Europe, European Union, all those places, they are the top 15% of wealth in the entire world. So why would you go and compare yourself to the top 15% of wealth? 85% of the world live on less than I was going to say $30 per day, $30 American, which is still an awful lot of money. But truth be told, the majority of the world actually lives on less than $10 a day, which is 500 pesos. And a huge percentage live on less than that, $2 or $3 per day. And so, what is poverty? So, someone sent me a message and they said, okay, Dan, the videos that you're posting, they're terrible. I'd rather be living in fantasy land. I'd rather be living in Geo's world where he does videos of the waterfront hotel showing the good life, showing how the rich and the famous live. But that's not the way the majority of the people live in the Philippines. And quite frankly, that's not the way the majority of the people live in the entire world. So, what you see as abject poverty, I see as just regular folks living their life. And so I become so used to accepting that this is just the way that 85% of the world live, that I actually am okay with living in any place that you would like for me to live, in a nipa hut, um, in any kind of a structure, basically, because I don't see poverty. I just see the Philippine way of life. And so consumerism has arrived here in the Philippines. You could tell that by the kind of commercials that you're being bombarded with on YouTube and other places, social media. They're trying to get you to go out and buy garbage on time, big screen TV sets, electronics. It's the same game plan. Processed foods, frozen foods. It's the same plan they use in order to corrupt consumers in America. But if you go there and you participate, basically all you're doing is making them wealthy. That's all you're doing, really, and making yourself, in some cases, fat and unhealthy. And so it's better to grow your own food and live life the way that you are without having expectations about uh, what the rest of the world thinks that you should be living like. And so that's what caught my attention about this one comment that I received about abject poverty. One person's abject poverty is the next person's way of life. And so tell me if you agree or disagree with that. Do you agree or disagree with me on that? Do you view yourself as being impoverished, or do you just view yourself as as being just a regular Joe or a regular Jane? So yeah, Alan is saying, do we have homework tonight? Let me announce to the 35 million people that are currently in the house that there will be no assigned homework. unless you want to go and you want to read about all this stuff and get an idea that yeah, they're jerking us off by getting us used to this idea of being on the hamster wheel, being part of the rat race, which the West has become. And every dog has their day, don't they? I'd rather be, if I were a dog, I'd rather be a dog in the Philippines. They look like they have a pretty easy going life. Every time I've seen, a barangay dog, they're always relaxing. They find the best spot in the shade and then they go to sleep there. They don't bother anybody. No one bothers them. It's a beautiful coexistence. Yeah, yeah. Uh, Greenhouse growing cannabis and honey will have THC in it. Yeah, okay, I get where you're going with this, but this is a very conservative country, and I doubt that they're ever going to legalize any of that here. As a matter of fact, they they tend to treat them a little bit differently here if they know that you're participating in the illicit drug activities. Yeah, as a matter of fact, he had a lot of failures, but his success, Brian, on growing the bees came when he put the beehives up on his balcony in downtown Bye Bye City Leyte, only a few steps away from the Dunkin' Donuts. And so I'm just wondering, if the bees came in, they zoomed in at night, ate up all the leftover donuts, and then went back to the hive. But anyway, whatever works works. And if you ever watch honey growing and beekeeping, it's fascinating. I mean, it is fascinating. It's nature, it's science, it's all kinds of things all wrapped up into one. All right, now there'll be no homework, so you should not be ashamed of the life that you lead. You should be grateful because the rat race that's crumbling over there in the West, it is not a pretty sight. And so what's happening in the West is, and other countries, other Western countries, is they had a big population boom within the 1954 and 1960 something, somewhere in there. I don't have all the dates. Why should I? Anyway, all the guys my age, all the gals my age, they're all retiring at the same time. And they're feeding, in the West, they're feeding people the illusion that, oh, we have plenty of jobs, which they do. They have plenty of jobs there because there's a mass exodus of post-war baby boomers. A lot of people don't like that term. We'll just say boomers that are leaving because they're retiring. They're calling it a day, and behind them, they're leaving these job openings that are very very difficult to fill because the Generation Xers that are coming up don't have the skill sets in order to occupy those positions. It's creating an opportunity for the people that are into the whole AI thing to come in there and facilitate the taking over of those positions. And so it's happening right now, especially in California, where I used to work in the welfare system, and they're bringing in a new computerized program, and they're using artificial intelligence in order to try and train people. And so the people that should be concerned about this are the people that are employed as trainers, trying to train people to do this, to perform these new tasks using this new system. They don't. I think some of them have realized that, hey, I'm talking to a robot in my training sessions. The people who should be worried about their jobs being gone next are the actual trainers. You know, they put in parameters into artificial intelligence that it spits out a training program, and then it's the AI system that polices itself and corrects its own mistakes. And so I'm hearing that it's a ridiculous way of training people, but hey, it's in its infancy stage, you know. So anyway, you probably have heard that big companies such as FedEx and UPS and others, they're starting to lay off thousands of people, in some cases tens of thousands of people, because they no longer need them because the economy in the United States and globally is starting to shrink. So it was fun while it lasted. Every dog has its day. It was fun while it lasted. But now they're looking at the Philippines and they're saying, or they're looking at Asia in general, they're saying, hey, they're tasty morsels over there. Let's go sell them a whole bunch of useless crap. Let's sell them 10 spatulas for every household. Let's sell them plasticware. Let's sell them all kind of crazy stuff that will poison you and give you cancer. Anyway, all right, let's talk about uh, the 20 poorest countries in Asia. So it was difficult for me to go in here and do this research to share with you because they disguise what they're comparing it to. The poverty line in the West, the poverty line in the U.S. Who in the hell knows what they're trying to do? They're just trying to get you to spend money. That's my opinion. 20 poorest countries, according to the Asia Foundation. This article comes from Yahoo News. You've got, according to Asia Foundation, um, after the smoke cleared from the global pandemic, you were left with 20 poor Asian countries. And I didn't even know that we had 20 countries in Asia. So I'd said oftentimes I'm geographically challenged, and I'm going to prove it right here, right now. I didn't even know there were any more than 20 Asian countries in existence. All I know is Thailand, Cambodia, Vietnam. I know Philippines. A lot of people don't know. I think that Australia is also in the Asia, is considered part of Asia. But anyway, let's look at them. I'm going to go through them real quickly. I'm going to go through them real quickly because we're going to have a drawing soon, and I don't want you potential winners to disappear on me due to boredom. So some of you may say, "Oh, Dan's okay," but man, this subject, this subject, forget about it. Forget about it. Oh, there is homework. There is homework. See if you can tell me how much land you need in order to grow enough rice to feed 4 people for a year. So that will be your homework assignment. How much land do you need to grow rice for a family of 4 to last them a year? You will be surprised, shocked at the answer. You will be shocked. I didn't mean to hit the laugh button. Yeah. What do I have here? Yeah. Okay. So go find out what that's all about, and you will be shocked and amazed. Okay. Number 20 is Mongolia. So they're going from. I think they're going for. I think that they're building up to the number one poorest Asian country in the world, right? The poorest of the poor. So the least poor would be number 20. So and then it builds up to number one. So Armenia is number 19. What? Armenia is in Asia? All right. Number 18 is the Philippines. Let's talk about that for a second. Gross domestic product for adult in 2021, the last year that they have numbers to do this analysis for. It says the Republic of the Philippines is a country composed of multiple islands in Southeast Asia. We know that because we live here. It is categorized as an emerging market. See, this is interesting, right? They're categorizing you as being an emerging market. Well, they didn't say third world country. They did not say developing nation. They said emerging market. Go to the market so the country can emerge. I saw the donut again. There it is, the reflection. Yeah, I have it on me. Uh the lighting in here is terrible. All right, so it is categorized as an emerging market and a recently industrialized nation. Hey, did you notice that while you were sleeping, you became an industrialized nation, undergoing a shift from an agricultural economy to one centered on services and manufacturing? Why? Why would all of a sudden you go from agricultural to services and manufacturing. Something to ponder. That could be a homework assignment. You tell me why that is. The Philippines possesses diverse natural resources and is globally recognized for its significant level of biodiversity. In 2021, the country's gross domestic product per adult came in at 5,580 US dollars, categorizing it as one of the top 20 most poorest Asian countries. But as people oftentimes like to say, happiness counts for something. So I accept that. Sri Lanka, number 17. Sri Lanka is pretty poor. Uh, Bhutan. Oh, no, no, we're going, yeah, that's right. We're going to the poorest nations. Number 16, Bhutan. Number 15 is Laos. So I guess that if you want to live cheaper in Asia than you can in the Philippines, you might check out Laos. Then you're going number 14, Vietnam. So as a lot of you may know that people are flocking to Vietnam. They're flocking to Da Nang, that Da Nang area. Of course, most people know Vietnam for its beautiful capital region and Ho Chi Minh City, Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City. Number 13, Timor Leste. I don't even know that country. 12 is Bangladesh. You have number 11, Uzbekistan. It's party time in Uzbekistan if you have greater than $3,063 per year in order to spend. You're abundant. You're considered to be abundant. Number 10 is Cambodia. So that's why a lot of expats are moving to Cambodia from Thailand because Thailand is becoming a little bit pricey, a little bit pricier over time. I would say that there was a time that I can remember that Thailand was the holy grail for expats because you had everything that you needed right there at your fingertips, and you could live comfortably in Thailand 20 years ago on $500 or $600 per month, American money. Cambodia is now at 2,538 gross domestic product per adult. So the ag economy sectors to be the primary driver of the economy. And so that sounds pretty sweet. And man, Minnie and I, we have plans of visiting Cambodia because I want to see for myself. I want to see for myself. Of course, it probably will involve staying out of the tourist areas. So the rest of these you could really guess. You have number 9 is Pakistan. Number 8, uh, uh, I can't even pronounce it. Kyrgyzstan, Stan. Yemen is number 7, which I always thought Yemen was a rich country, not a poor one. Myanmar, or the former Burma, is number 6. And we almost visited Burma when we went towards Chiang Rai, and we ran into a glitch, and so we'll have to save Myanmar or Burma for another time. I have friends that have been there that said that you're missing out, Dan. You're missing out by not visiting Burma. All right, now I ran into a whole bunch of ads to continue the top 5 poorest countries. So it gave me a whole bunch of ads, and I had to move over to another article. Number 5 is Nepal, and I believe that Nitban was in Nepal, and Nitban said that that he'd like to live there. Nitban, whatever it was, their culture, something very beautiful that caught his attention. Nepal, in fact, he set this whole up. He put this thing on his YouTube, on his Facebook page, and the gross domestic product in Nepal per adult is $1,812. So we're almost to the top 5. Yeah, actually, Brian, I was reading your comment. That's actually true. Uh, it's a land of opportunity in 50 states, but it's like 50 countries in America, so many different cultures, ideologies, and he's right about that. That's one of the things that a lot of people don't know. If you just get out of California and go drive across to a different state, you'll realize that it's like moving into a different country. And the ideologies are changing every single day. I mean, Arizona's like California now, Nevada's like California now, because there's a mass exodus of Californians moving to different states. Austin, Texas is California, Silicon Valley. Of course, California is a big state, but to have 10 or you know to have 6 to 10 million people disappear and move other places, that's a huge number. Over the past 20 years, that's a huge number. There's a reason why people are escaping California. There's a reason why I left. I think if you watch this channel, what those reasons are. But I am forever a resident of California, stuck there via my pensions. Yeah, once you receive the money from California, then you are obligated to pay taxes in California, and you're always considered to be a tax resident of the state of California. All right, what's next? What is next? I'm running into ads. You know how they do. You know how they do here. Syria is number 4. Syria is number 4. Tajikistan is number 3 with a GDP of 1561. So I guess what I'm trying to point out here, poor is relative, just like being rich is relative. It all depends. All depends on how you view it. Number 2 is Afghanistan. Number 2 is Afghanistan. And so I'm not surprised that number 2 is Afghanistan. We have a lot of Americans that they come here from Afghanistan. They gain citizenship, they work, they earn Social Security and pensions, and then they go back home. And so, and let's see, poorest country. Oh, North Korea. North Korea is number 1 with a GDP per adult in 2021, 931. And we don't really need to say much more about North Korea because we know they're suffering and they're poor. We know they're suffering and they're poor. They they from what we understand through information being shared on YouTube and other places, they're very poor and their economy is extremely limiting. Filipinos buy the money like everything else, but best way to hide it in clay doesn't make the metal detector go off. That's pretty funny. Yeah. So there, hiding it in clay, yeah, um, probably isn't such a good thing, or is a good thing, I guess, if you're trying to smuggle money. Okay, so we have a whole bunch of people here, 32 million people in the house, and so how we're going to do this drawing is um, we are going to call for Ma'am Minnie. Ma'am Minnie, we are ready to draw the number, and you have to be present to win. Expats have a peso account and a dollar account transferred to your US dollars to the Philippines. Bank only small amounts of 60K or less just to be safe. No, the Philippines is one of the safest places that you can put your money to buy us. Um, Contrary to popular thought. It's a lot unsafer when you compare it to how safe your money is in U.S. banks. It's unsafe to keep your money in the U.S. bank versus keeping it here in your mattress in the Philippines, and that's including having to deal with mattress fires because you fell asleep smoking a cigarette or something. So listen, I'm just talking. I'm just talking here. I have no factoids to back it up. But I certainly convert all my US dollars as quickly as I can when I get them into Philippine pesos, but it doesn't mean that I don't have dollars. I do have dollars, but any new money that I get gets converted very, very quickly into pesos. And I'm comfortable with that. I'm comfortable with that. I'm a fan also of precious metals, by the way. Silver, not so much gold, because I believe that what Warren Buffett says is true. You know, what Warren Buffett says about gold is pretty to look at, but it doesn't do much for anybody because it's not used in industrialization, in the industrial economy. And so I'm more a fan of silver than I am, uh, of gold. What? Your videos are great. You show the reality of life for many of us. Yeah, that is the reality. And after you're here for what? And notice it did not scare me away. It does not scare me away the way that Filipinos live. As a matter of fact, I'm perfectly happy living in a bamboo or nipa hut, but that isn't what they built. That isn't what they built. A nipa hut, I say simple home, and then something gets lost in the interpretation. I say to Many build a simple home, and then we end up in 1,500 square foot house that looks exactly like the house in Sacramento. So I mean, what? We have a hater in here? Who is this hater? Where? We're at? I missed it. I missed it. Do we have a troll in here? Anyway, it doesn't matter because we're getting ready to give some money away and wrap it up. So, what is the most important thing to you in the world? It's I think the most important thing is being able to teach others how to elevate themselves. That's what the most important thing in the world is to me. So um, I find that Mike and I are very much alike, except for this thing. Oh, thank you, Sir Luke. Sir Luke is here. Sir Luke, you're on the list, by the way. I saw your name a couple times on the last stream. I mentioned that, and so uh, Mike, we're on the same page, except you have a lot more faith than I do. You have a lot more faith in a whole bunch of things, in God, in the human condition, in relationships with people, and so I accept that, and I admit it. I admit it right here that you do. It's one of the things I like about you. But let me give you an example of things that bug the hell out of me, though. And that is that there's this a YouTube video going around. There's a Facebook reel that's getting a lot of hits, and it shows the late Stephen Jobs making uh, a proclamation saying that as you get older in life, you start to realize that the most important things in life don't revolve around money. And so now, Stephen Jobs, to the best of my knowledge, he was only 56 years old when he passed. 56, you're not exactly, you don't exactly become a wise sage at age 56. So I already know that this is propaganda that's being spread. It's propaganda being spread to the Filipino people primarily, so that to keep them poor, to be very, very happy with your social condition, not to rise up, to meet the West halfway. It's to keep wages depressed. And the reason why, so this is the reason why they put crap like this out there, right? It's for this very reason, because there's a little bit of an uprising, or not an uprising, there's a surge in people commenting that the government has to do more in order to raise wages because we're fighting inflation. And you folks that believe in this have no argument from me, except there are a lot of different ways to fight inflation without your dependency on government intervention. That Me saying that does not mean that I don't believe the government should or should not intervene. Don't misinterpret what I'm saying. All right, don't misunderstand what I'm saying. Probably it's many, many different things that have to come together, combination of different paths in order that have to be taken in order to combat inflation. But here's the thing: I did say that I believe that this is propaganda by big business in order to keep you poor, because if you've read Stephen Jobs' autobiography, he loved being wealthy. I mean, you could see it. It's in black and white. He loved being wealthy, right? He loved his money, and so and so going out there and saying at age 56, being a multi-billionaire, I become very, very wise and realize that money is not important to me as relationships with people. Really? Really, Stephen, the way that you treated your daughter? So when I see this, my critical view, my critical thought kicks in, and I go, whoa, 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 what's going on here? And then I realize this is just big business putting this crap out there to keep you repressed, to keep wages down. Because, of course, if wages are down and you'll work for cheap, then all is good in the world. If you're a wealthy person, you want to become richer. So that's how I view it. And so I make no apologies about how I view it. And you guys, if you must continue, I'm not even going to critique you if you're one of the ones spreading that garbage around, but it is garbage. And I wouldn't get involved in doing that. I wouldn't get involved in doing that. Mike, I want to address one more thing before we do this drawing. Mammy is standing by. She knows she's going to be drawing pretty soon. Um, Here's the thing, Mike. All this processed food is starting to show up in the supermarkets. And recently, and it's affecting the cost of not only those processed foods, oh, this is convenient. I'm so busy working the farm, I'm so busy growing food that I don't have time to cook it. And so I think I'll just go in the supermarket, I'll go into the frozen food section, and I'll pick up a fish fillet. And all I'll have to do is throw that in the oven, heat it up in the cast iron pan, and cook up some rice, and we'll have put a little gravy on it. We'll have a tasty, tasty meal for the kids. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it for a whole variety of different reasons that I won't go into right now. Because, because my information that I'm sharing with you may be as useless as the opposing view. And so for today, I'm not going to give you details about why I believe this. Just go in and read some of Mike, Married to a Beautiful Woman's comments. And we probably are aligned pretty closely with our belief systems. Don't do it. They are coming for you. They're coming for you. They're coming for you. And by the way, I did neglect to give the usual disclaimer at the beginning of this show. And so it doesn't happen again. I will post the disclaimer in my description. And this disclaimer will say something like, this is for 18-year-olds only. It's a sharing of Dan's opinion for entertainment purposes only. Do not do anything, employ anything that Dan might suggest that you do or do not do. All right. So I'm saying it now at the tail end, which does me no good if you've already been sucked into Dan's belief system. But open your eyes. The best thing that you could do to avoid this happening to you is every time you see a commercial, no matter where it is, ignore it. Thank God Filipinos live outside, they don't live inside. But I caution you, you're being bombarded. You're being bombarded on social media by ads, and that's what reels are all about. And this is why I don't want to be a participant in this charade. Because the way that I see it, it's a manipulation of you. That's the way I see it. They're trying to manipulate you. They're trying to change your thoughts, your belief systems. And it's all about changing it so it favors them. changing it so it favors them. Favors who? I don't know. The top wealthiest 4 or 5% of all the people on the globe. There's nothing wrong with being rich. That isn't what my statements are all about. It's about you not having the same opportunity as they do in order to become wealthy, but you will. But it starts from a very, very basic point, and that point is don't give them your money. That's the number one thing that I'm talking about here. If you give them even 1 peso of your money, I'm guaranteeing you're making a mistake. Do not give them even 1 peso of your money because they will use that peso to conquer you, right? It's going to be through taxation, it's going to be through buying frozen food at the grocery store that's not good for you. It's going to be convincing you that you need 10 spatulas instead of one. It's convincing you uh, that you shouldn't be growing your own food, but you should be buying this delicious imported food, um, these delicious navel oranges from California. That's how they'll get it. That's how they'll get the money from your pocket into theirs. And the banks, all they do is invest in those companies because they could see clear through making money, the profit. I'm not even opposed to profit. I'm opposed to you wasting your money on want based items instead of need. So if you make conscious decisions and you're spending your money based on need, then you're doing the thing that is the right thing to do. You know, uh, don't allow them to monetize real estate. That's happening now. Don't allow them to infringe on your human rights. That's basically what I'm saying. And I would say that Philippines, you're in a lot better position than a lot of countries, which is the reason why I love this country. It's because you cannot easily be persuaded to do what the rest of the world is doing. Tobias is saying AI is just another way that man can come up to make more profit, more power. Yeah, exactly. That's what we're saying here. And but let's say understanding with AI is that jobs are changing to different areas, not disappearing. No, well, they're changing to different areas. They're changing so that you don't need as many people doing them. And so I'm not sure yet. I can't really decide if that's a good thing or a bad thing. But in any event, it should not impact the Philippines to the degree that it's impacting people in the West. That's because you have a young, educated population here. And in the States, for example, you have an older, educated population there. And so you're not gonna see me lifting, twisting. I'm no longer going to be in the bread factory stacking bread on pallets, so they can be shipped to stores. Like Bonds comes to mind, or Kroger and that sort of thing. Because I cannot do that work. See, so they automate that work because they know that Dan's too old to be doing that work. The population age difference between the Philippines and the United States or people in the West, in some cases it's decades, but it's a decade for sure. And decades meaning two, in most cases, I believe. But do your homework and then come back and talk to me about it next time around. So anyway, that's why. So I think I've explained things to the point, ad nauseum, that you guys know exactly where I'm coming from. And so I would like to make one more comment. One more comment. This is this goes to Steve at the Philippine Information Channel. So we share some subscribers. Um, his last video where he's talking about that it's impossible for people from the West to change the economic and social condition of those living in the Philippines, and I disagree wholeheartedly. You have to tell the whole story. You can't tell part of the story. And the way that he presented it, he left parts out. Um, he left parts, important parts out. One of them had to do with tipping. Okay, so when you come over here, there's a, um, there's this idea that you shouldn't leave big tips in restaurants to hardworking Filipinos. And so he was complaining, saying that he's been critiqued by one blogger. It wasn't me. I wouldn't critique anybody for leaving a large tip, but he left a part out. I agree with him. What you do with your money is your business, and so if you want to give somebody a leg up, then that's fine. But I think he was talking about TGIF Friday because he spends time, you know, meeting his group at TGIF Friday, and so he talks about leaving a huge tip for a waitress at TGI Friday, and he gets criticized for doing it. And all I have to say is, oh, but there's something else going on here. There's TGIF Friday because I have a relative that works there. They're allowed to keep their own tips. They don't force the wait staff to put their tips that they receive in the community tip jar to be shared with all the restaurant workers. So Steve left this part out. It's a small um, a minor thing that got me thinking. And this is the reason why I wanted to talk about it. So a couple things going on here. Can $10 leaving a $10 tip change the economics of the entire Philippines? And the answer is probably no. That not in the case that you're leaving it to a TGIF worker, but Denny's is a different story. Let me explain it to you, right? And I'm not asking you guys to agree with me. I'm just presenting my argument. If you go into Denny's, two things happen. If you leave a tip, it goes into the community tip jar. So the person that I'm leaving the tip to most often is not the beneficiary of that tip. So I have learned that don't leave, a significantly large tip in Denny's if your motivation is to reward that one person that gave you the excellent service. Another way to look at it would be the opposing view, of course, or the other side of it, I should say, not the opposing view necessarily, would be, oh, even though you know that they're not going to be the beneficiary of the entire tip, you know that everybody in the restaurant, all the wait staff, the bus people, and all that will be the beneficiaries of that tip. But if I wanted you, one person, to get it, right? I just want you to get it. Then leaving a large tip at Denny's wouldn't make sense because they'll just put it in the community jar because that's their company policy or whatever. But it would make sense at TGIF Friday. So, yes, Steve, I agree with you. I agree with you that it's okay to tip as much money as you want, and somebody should not be able to tell you what to do with your money for any reason whatsoever. It's your business, it's not theirs. But be aware of this. I always look for the service charge. If there's a service charge on your receipt, they have already helped themselves to their tip, right? It's a service charge. Service means service, the gravitation towards a service economy. So if they're putting 4 or 5% additional onto your bill from what you've ordered, I leave no tip. I leave zero money on the table because they've already helped themselves to my money in the form of a service charge, which nobody knows where that goes. Nobody knows if Denny's keeps it. Nobody knows if they share that money with the wait staff. No one knows, right? But I said to my wait staff, even though you were brilliant, you gave the best service that money could buy. I cannot, in good conscience, leave you a tip because I know it's going to go in the community tip jar, and you also charge me 4% service charge for your service. And so you would go to Denny's and you would say, give me my 4%. They just looked at me and their eyes just rolled up in the back of their head going, man, it's screwed up working here at Denny's. You can just see them. Oh, another American, another Westerner that wants to give me the service fee speech. How in the hell am I ever going to get ahead in life if I can't, keep the money that the foreigner gives me? And so, uh, yeah. So there's my story. There's my story. I'm sticking to it. Steve, person should not be allowed to tell you what to do with your own money. I agree. Will it upset the entire Philippine economy? Those two are non sequiturs. The giving of money to one person, I would say that no. If what you're saying, and I believe you were, was that giving it to the waitress at TGIF Friday is not going to impact the Philippine economy at all. However, foreigners are, when you're looking at macro, when you're looking at the macro picture, they are most certainly affecting the Filipino economy. And so your arguments about housing costs being pretty much the same as they were the first time you went there, that's all BS. Because I could have bought in a house 40 to 50 square meters 18 years ago here in the Philippines, in Manila, in the heart of Manila, right? When they were building subdivisions, some developer came up with this idea of building subdivisions. Box home, 2-story. I went and I toured it. 22,000 pesos. 22,000 pesos. And so I went back and I looked to see how much they want for those homes today. The same exact ones are now going for 80,000 pesos. And now they're 18 years older. So to say, and most of those homes were sold to foreigners in that subdivision, at least 49% were. So I'm saying that I believe that you need to take another look at that you may be wrong in your assertion that foreigners do not impact the economy of the Philippines. Cost of housing is pretty much the same. I believe you're the one that's living in the bubble, because you said no, you just have to. And then you also made one more derogatory comment that I want you to take to task. And I'm sure you're getting hammered on this one. You had to bring up Dumagetti, and you said everyone knows that Dumagetti is all about the girls, and so if you're going to Dumagetti, you kind of implied if you're going to Dumagetti, you know what people are searching for, and landlords are always going to be taking advantage of charging you higher rents because you know you were there. Now, I could have misunderstood the entire argument. I encourage you to go watch Steve at the Philippine Information Channel because he does a really, really good job. And you tell me, you send me it by commenting here. You can send me a messenger message or a private message, any way you want to tell me if you think that it was a complete misinterpretation. Dan, you missed the point. And if you criticize me, it's okay because I oftentimes miss the point. I also live in my own world, sometimes. All right, enough said about that. I'm encouraging you to go to Steve's channel, not to avoid it, because Steve's channel is great information. It gives you food for thought. But if you want, go back and watch all of Steve's videos, all the way to the latest one, and you can see how he has changed over time in certain beliefs, and is not afraid to talk about it. And of course, a person who's willing to change his ideologies based on his experience and just flat delivering the message that things are changed in the Philippines, is my kind of guy. And so the whole thing here is that in one side of his mouth, he was saying that we're not influencing having economic change, that there aren't enough of us throwing our money around to affect change. And then on the other side, he was saying Things are getting really, really more expensive. And I'm saying to you, I can connect the dots and I could show you the impact that foreign investment and foreign money and expats coming here and building palaces and monuments to themselves have indeed affected the Philippine economy. That's all I'm saying. We have a difference in opinion, but it doesn't mean, of course, I don't like him. It doesn't mean that I think he's anything but a straight up a stand up guy. All the work he does in the community and all the ways that he helps expats when they're moving here and he's formulated expat group and all these things. You cannot dislike a guy for doing all those things. All right, so now, Ma'am Minnie, are you here? Ma'am Minnie, I need to move this laptop around. Come on over here and so that you can come into view.
That's fine.
Come on over here. Come on over here.
Hi, everybody. Good morning.
There you
Good
go.
morning.
There's Ma'am Minnie.
All right. We're gonna
So,
start.
wait. Let me move this out of the way. All right, there you are. There are 30 million people in the house right now. Dan, the IRS just topped the trust fund on the money left for the kids when they die. Oh, that's a good old Internal Revenue Service. All right, guys. Okay, the big drawing is here. Now, I want to explain to Ma'am Minnie because I haven't had a chance to talk to her. So you see now, here, a couple of these might stick together, right? But we're only choosing one 500 peso winner, right? And so they're folded up like this. I just want to show you, paper thin. So yeah, you think it's better because it's more random. Yeah. And so I'm gonna shake them up. Shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it.
Baby.
Shake it, baby, shake it, shake it. Now all you're gonna do is pull one. Now if you grab two, you just let one of them go with your fingers until you actually just have one. And then you hand it to me and I will open up the lucky number. And these people, folks, you got to know what your number is. Oh, wait. Before we do that, I have to bring the list up on my phone. I have to know also who the winner is based on. Oh shoot! I already got hate mail from somebody. That was very fast. That was very quick of you to send me hate mail so fast. All right, so the new list. All right, so I have in front of me, I have my Excel spreadsheet coming up on my phone. Microsoft 365, a plug for Microsoft. All right, so now I have the numbers and the names up to 118. So we have 118 tabs inside this. So now I'm going to hold it like this so everybody can see you pulling one of the tabs out. And you can reach for any tab that you want, and that's going to be the 500 peso winner. Go ahead and reach in, Ma'am Minnie. Dun, dun, dun. Wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. We need music. We need mood music. All right. that was totally stupid, right? Oh, wait, you got one. You got one already. All right, she pulled one off the top. She didn't fool around, right? She didn't fool around. She didn't go digging for it like I do oftentimes. I'm digging in my nose for gold. Oh my God, this is a good number. All right, so we have number 62. Number 62. And we'll do a 5 count.
Yahoo!
We'll do a 5 count on number 62, but I first have to figure out who number 62 is. 62, Managa B-Day 01. Manang B-Day number 1. All right, so.
Manang Biday. That's a Manang Biday.
How do you say it?
01. Manang Biday.
Manang Baday.
Manang Biday.
Manang Baday. Going once. Manang Baday. Going twice. Manang Baday. Going 3 times. So far, I don't see it. Manang Baday.
Manang biday.
Manang Biday.
Yes, that's good.
Going 4 times. Okay, we have one more call out, one more shout out.
Here's the comment. New comment.
Where, let's see. Did you see their name?
Did you open this one?
You have to go down here.
Let's go down.
Yeah, because I'm behind in the chat, so that's also problematic. Yeah, because I have to actually go down here. Manang Badai. Well, you know, I'm behind in the chat. Look at all this. It's taking such a long time to load up on this. Then I'm gonna have to set up on my phone so that I could see it more closer to real time. All right, so we're already coming into a glitch, folks. The glitch, of course, is that
So then just let us know, guys.
yeah, anybody can comment saying, are they here or not? Manang Badai, are they here or not? Because I don't see them. Manang Badai, number 5, and people are chiming in. People are chiming in, but I'm so far behind in the chat. You should see it. You should see it. You should see it. I'm not getting any of the chat comments in real time. They're so far behind. So many of you are chiming in. Okay, I want you all to freeze your comments. Nobody comment except for Manang Badai. Nobody comment so that I can catch up in the comment section.
So the people is still there.
Yeah, see all the comments that are coming out. Ramir is there. Ramir's there. Manang Badai, are you here? Stop chatting in here, so stop commenting so I could see only Manang Badai if they're a winner. Please, guys, please. Otherwise, I will not be able to see. I will not be able to figure this out because everybody's talking to each other in here. Manang Badai, are you here? Yeah, I have to go. Look at this. Look at this. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. All right, so now, see, she's an OFW in Hong Kong, Dan. I chatted her, but she's not online. Okay. All right, thank you for that. All right, so now only the winner chime in. You guys, it'll make it easier for me if you don't comment back and forth, just the winner. So now she's not here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go in for another one. All right, go ahead and pull one out. Pull one out. Only one. Only one. Only one. Yeah, they're sticking, so you have to make sure. You have to make sure you only pull one, or else we'll have controversy. Okay, next one. Number 28. 28. Number 28 is, oh, 28 is my kid. And so, no, my kid, Daniel. Listen, Daniel is in here. Daniel, you're ineligible to win.
Hi, Daniel.
He's not here. No, I'm kind of blown away that his name was his number came up.
Twin.
Yeah, my twin. All right, go ahead. Pull another one out of there. Pull another one out of there, Ma'am Minnie. Pull another one out of there.
Pull out the third. It's sticky. Why is sticky this one? Here.
All right, next one coming out. Okay, number 12 is selected. Number 12. Number 12, Angelica Canalada. Angelica Canalada, are you here? Okay. Angelica Canalada, 1. Angelica Canalada, 2. Angelica Canalada, 3.
It's like
Angelica Canalada.
Canilada.
4. Angelica Canalata.
Canilada.
5. All right. What? You said Annie MC is 12? On my list, I have Angelica Canalada. It's the most recent list from Ma'am Pacquiao Mertz. So let me show you my list right here. So maybe the most recent list wasn't put up there. But Angelica Canalada number 12, based on your current list on community. Okay, so then we have apparently we have a um, the first faux pas. And so Annie MC is today's winner based on the current list that's on the community board. And then we'll square all those things away. What I think I'll have to go in there and I'll have to reconcile it. And so if one name is off, that means that there may be more names that are lost, and I may have to scrap the whole thing and start all over again, assigning new numbers to everybody. But we'll make that determination by going into the community later. In the meanwhile, Annie MC, you're going to be the winner today based on the published list that is on the community that's posted in my community. So that's the latest one that's there. So that's what we have to go by. And so I'm going to reconcile this sometime today or tomorrow. And then we'll see everybody on the next one. Oh, Annie MC, make sure that I have your Gmail by sending it to my messenger. I may have it tucked away in a safe place, but for now, make sure just to double check. Or if somebody has Annie MC's Gmail or her Gcash, I mean, please forward it to me, and I'll get that money right into her pocket, right into her Gcash account, ASAP. I want to thank Man Minnie for coming and pulling the winner. Thank you for your patience and for accepting the faux pas. And we will see everybody on the next live. Larry, if you're here, Larry, can you do the honors of taking us out of this live stream, if you will? Let me see if I think Larry's still here. Let's give this a second or two. Oh no, I was supposed to do applause. Here you go. Annie MC, congratulations. Okay, here we go. Remember to be nice to each other. Take care of yourselves. Stay safe and healthy. Plus, always try to have fun. Those are words to live by. And don't miss Larry Lee's live stream coming up pretty soon, right, Larry? Pretty soon. So don't miss his live stream. We'll be there. So you be there. And we'll see everybody on our next live. Bye-bye, everybody.
Everybody, ladies.
Take care.
Take care.